Good morning, folks. So today is February 20th, 2023, and I really just wanted to get on here and share this from this book here, You Are the Beloved. This really hit home for me, especially with what I'm dealing with right now. Human intimacy. A mature human intimacy requires a deep and profound respect for the free and empty space that needs to exist within and between partners. And that asks for a continuous mutual protection and nurture. So for me, for that line, it's mutual respect, meaning the space that's needed, right? We don't want to be like up each other's butt all the time, right? It needs to be nurtured. I'm currently going through that because I realize I've created a lot of space within my marriage from May till now that it hasn't been nurtured because I have been working on myself and trying to figure out what's going on with me. So that line hits home for me. Only in this way can a relationship be lasting, precisely because mutual love is experienced as a participation in a greater and earlier love to which it points. In this way, intimacy can be rich and fruitful, since it has been given carefully protected space in which to grow. So when I hear that, the carefully and protected space, I just think about trust, and the understanding of each other. It will always create that rich fullness. It'll be less of like a pattern, like every day I do the same thing, blah blah blah, just like following the rules of like how we've been programmed our whole entire life. Everybody's seen, everybody's heard, like the partners are seen, the partners are heard, right? So the next line is, this relationship no longer is a fearful clinging to each other. Those words are very powerful for me. Fearful clinging. I don't know about you guys, but I can tell you that the beginning of this relationship and probably all of my relationships were fearful clinging. Absolutely. Fearful clinging, like when I first got into my relationship, I found true love because my childhood sucked, and just like not knowing any worthiness of myself. And then even here with my husband, I was already a single mom and I met my husband and I was like fearful clinging. Oh my God, I found a father for my son. So, and like somebody that actually loves me. So it's like fearful clinging. I can honestly speak from his point of view too, that he had a fearful cling. If I go back and I think about how he spoke to me and how quick he moved in on me, like it was definitely a fearful cling to each other, but a free dance. So this relationship no longer is a fearful clinging to each other, but a free dance, allowing space in which we can move forward and backward, form constantly new patterns. That I like that word, because we get stuck in old patterns, right? We just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. Watch the same, sit down, let's watch movies, let's do this. It's like it gets boring, right? As humans, we need to evolve, we need to grow, we need to learn things together and separate. So doing the same things over and over again, that's where the fights break out, So somebody's not fulfilled in that sense, or both of them are not fulfilled in that sense in their life, feeling that fulfillment. So the line is, form constantly new patterns and see each other as always new. So to me, that tells me that the person that you're in a relationship is always new. They're always changing and growing, right? Doing things, together, doing things separate, just growing together, and seeing things. Oh my God, I thought that was a school bus. I'm like, my son has off today. Seeing things as always new. Seeing them as always new. So I also wanted to talk about, I keep getting a lot of posts on my Facebook about narcs and empaths, and there's a lot of gray areas between the two, and I just wanted to state them that we can't go labeling people as narcissists, right, without looking at ourselves. You just can't. What you need to do is look up codependence. You need to read the habits, the behaviors, and make sure you're not contributing to that narcissist behavior, right? But I tell you, everyone tells you to run. You're in a narcissist relationship, run. Everybody's running. Everybody's scared. Guess what? You keep following the crowd, you're going to be running for the rest of your life. There's a reason why you were in that relationship, right? You either contribute to the narcissist, you fed his ego or her ego, right? Now you need to learn from it. Keep running, and another one will show up. I promise you that. The first one that I was in a relationship, I'm not going to say narcissist because I don't like labeling people, because I understand why was the way he is, whatever. The first relationship I was in, I ran. I was like, this guy, nope, I'm out of here. Fight or flight, right? So I see other posts on Facebook and everybody, and oh, you better run. They're just going to siphon your life, blah, blah, blah. That's because you allowed that person to siphon your life. If you set the proper boundaries in the beginning of the relationship, if you knew yourself better, you wouldn't, A, either be in that relationship now, or B, you guys would still have a healthy balance. But the thing is, if you constantly contribute and fed that person's ego, you are now partially responsible for pulling back so they can learn. You run from them, you're not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting that person, because guess what? They're never learning. They're never learning either, right? So, and they could be in denial all they want. That happens. People get into the denial, defensiveness. I've seen it all, trust me. But doesn't mean that they're pure evil. They don't ever set out. Those are not their intentions. If you understood why narcissists act the way they do, it's either one, they're from their wounded past lifestyle, or two, they were overpraised as a child because of parents not being educated enough or understanding enough that you can't overpraise your child either. There needs to be a healthy balance. And when there's no healthy balance with either neglect or overpraise, that's what happens. So, everybody wants to label themselves as an empath and label the other person as a narcissist, but there's a lot of gray areas. And first and foremost, you got to know who you are. You got to know that codependence inside, that you're contributing to this, and figure out who you are before you make your moves. That person will, just like I'm going to quote Eckhart Tolle, that your partner will then become your teacher. They will trigger you, and if you have a reaction, you're no better than that narcissist. If you have a negative reaction or a clinging fear, you're no better than that narcissist. There's many different levels of narcissists. There's many different levels, if you're wanting to use labels, but I don't like labeling people anymore. I feel like it's very it's a very low consciousness to do that. That's not understanding. When you throw a label on them, that's not understanding. That's like, boop, you're out of here. It's like stamping something and on to the next one, like an assembly line. You could very well be a narcissist. You know what I mean? and you're sitting here labeling somebody else as a narcissist. So I think it's time to look in the mirror, guys. And with that being said, I gotta get to work. Hope everyone has a great day. I hope somebody understands and learns something from this video. If not, that's fine too. Or share your experiences, what you think. But I gotta go. Take care.